Who here has been involved in a relationship? When I ask this question, most of your hands will go up. This is because relationships are an integral part of human life. There's a few communication tips that, if developed, can help us to have more effective communication in our relationships and more effective relationships. Dr. John Gottman of the University of Washington has said that there are 3 reasons why relationships fail. And these are: first, willingness; second, skills; and third, knowledge. Hopefully through these tips that I also have tried, you will be able to develop more effective communication in your relationships. To start, we need to know what these methods are. First, content communication, saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Second, owning your expectations, saying what you want and how you want it. And third, communicating as equals. This is the language of respect and request. Now, men and women are very differently brain-wired. A man, for example, will communicate with about 7,000 different communication cues in a single day. Now, that's substantial, but women, on the other hand, communicate with about 21,000 different communication cues. Now, these signals mean that men and women prioritize their communication differently. Men communicate for effectiveness, and women for full disclosure. Men also have an 11% larger brain than women. This isn't to say that women are unintelligent, or women also have a 30% larger corpus callosum. This is the communication pathway between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. With this, Dr. Ruben Gurr describes this communication link between the hemispheres of men as a pathway in the woods. In women, he describes this as a 4-lane freeway. Now, this means that men and women prioritize very differently. To couple with this, depending on our upbringing, our communication is very different. A study done in 1977 by Williamson and Smith showed that 55% of our communication and the messages that we send is weighted by our facial and body expression. 37% of the weighted communication is given to the tone of voice. Now, this leaves only a small 8% of every communication, every message that we send is given to our words. 8% credit. This means that there are differences and difficulties in communication. And because of these, we need to learn how to communicate more effectively. Dr. Lund suggests that we all become content communicators. This is saying what you mean and meaning what you say, giving more credit to the words. Now, wouldn't it be nice to always know what your partner wanted and how to please them? Owning your expectations enables you to do so. You say what you want and how you want it. You need to be specific. Don't beat around the bush, and don't drop all these hints. Not everyone's going to pick up on them. These methods will help you in communication. Dr. Lund also suggests that how we communicate is very important. This is a positive approach to your communication will help greatly. There are 3 roles which we often take. The first is that of a child. This is the language of may I, can I. The second, the language of a parent. This is the directive language. You should, you ought. Now, unfortunately, most people communicate this way in their relationships. The third language, the way that we ought to communicate, is the language of respect and request. This is the language of equals. This is, I would appreciate it if, it would mean a lot to me. To conclude, if we would communicate, saying what we mean and meaning what we say, saying what we want and how we want things, and communicating as equals in the language of respect and request, our relationships would be a lot better off. These tips are tried and true. They worked for me, and they'll work for you.